All right, y'all. Thanks for coming out to Conversations with Staff Council 2016. I appreciate that you came out after lunch. I hope your lunch was a good one. And we do have some great speakers here, and me too. But we do have some people that hopefully will be giving us some great information about various components of life on campus. I'm going to go ahead and start off with myself. My name is Andy Moon. I am the president of Staff Council this year, and I want to talk just a little bit about the accomplishments of Staff Council over the last year or so. So let's see if I can find that slideshow. Oh, nope, that's parking. Bob. Everybody loves Bob. I certainly would not want to spoil Bob's presentation. So there we go. We're going to talk a little bit about the accomplishments of Staff Council over the last year or so. So we do a number of different things. The Staff Council mission, straight off of our Constitution, is that we are to be an advisory body to the University of Houston administration to promote a positive and meaningful interchange among staff, faculty, and students, and to promote recognition of the staff contribution to the mission of the University of Houston and to involve the staff in decisions affecting their activities. Our charter was created in February of 1986 when UH was actually known as the University of Houston University Park. And this is the Staff Council's 30th year in existence. So we've been around for quite some time now. Some of our general initiatives, we do participate in more than 20 university-wide standing committees. Now, these standing committees are on all kinds of different topics, everything from hearings for appeals for things like sexual harassment, to parking and transportation, to traffic court, to the Food Service Advisory Committee. So basically, most of the committees that have membership from throughout campus end up having a Staff Council representative, or sometimes more than one Staff Council representative on those committees. Over the course of the last year, I got to participate on the Campus Carry Work Group. We are the ones that put together the policy regarding carrying a firearm on campus. There's the Transportation and Parking Advisory Committee, which basically with Bob and his crew goes over all of the different policies regarding parking. One of the things that they did last year was get the parking fines increased so that hopefully we can get more students to purchase parking passes instead of just taking the fines. The Bookstore Advisory Committee and the Food Service Advisory Committee, that one was one of my favorites when I was on it because we got monthly meals at the Fresh Foods Company. So that one's always a very popular choice among Staff Council members. We also have meetings with UH leadership to discuss what's going on campus. So this includes things like I sit on the Faculty Senate Executive Committee, and the Faculty Senate Executive Committee talks about all kinds of stuff that has to do with faculty initiatives. And once a month, we also have Dr. Couture sit in on those meetings, so we end up getting updates from the president. And of course, most of those updates over the course of the last few months have had to do with the Big 12. Any news about that yet, Matthew? Never mind. All right. We also put together a strategic plan in 2015 for our Staff Council initiatives. We co-hosted the annual staff picnic in 2015, and every year one of the more popular initiatives is a participation in Finals Mania. How many of y'all have come out and done Finals Mania? It's done right here in the library, and man, that is a fun event. We come out and feed the students pancakes right around finals time. And I know that everybody who I've talked to who participates in that really has a good time. One of our biggest initiatives every year is Cougar First Impressions. Any Cougar First Impressions veterans out there? Yeah, I know. I've seen all of y'all in my volunteer training before. We really appreciate that effort because we believe that it really impacts students in a positive way. We had 450 volunteers at 19 different campus locations. And of course, what we do is give directions, answer questions, give out goodies, and most importantly, especially at the event in August, pass out water to all of the kids who are overheating and really, really need it. We have also been doing for the last 3 years Cougar First Impressions for the spring semester. It's a much more limited event. We only have 6 tables, about 100 volunteers, and of course that focuses more on new and transfer students. And it is a smaller event because we have fewer new students on campus for the spring semester. Our events committee, can I have a raise of hands for my events committee co-chairs? All right, Tanya's way back there waving furiously. So our events committee puts on a number of different events. One is the Sock and Blanket Drive, which, by the way, will be starting up very, very soon. What was the date? That's late this month is when that starts. The 24th of October. Now, this is one of the things that I really wanted to mention to y'all because we've got a great big hole to fill. One of the biggest historic contributors to the Sock and Blanket Drive was Dr. Bott, who, of course, is no longer with the university anymore. So we would really appreciate it if y'all could think of ways that you can increase the participation in that effort from your departments. Last year for the Star of Hope, we delivered 375 large bags of gently used items, 2 boxes of assorted canned goods, 6 boxes of diapers, 4 boxes of toiletries and cleaning products, and then to the Harris County Protective Services, 30 large bags of clothing and other items. One of our other really fun events is the Spring Egg Hunt. The Spring Egg Hunt basically invites our faculty, staff, students, and their children to come and join up with children from the community in an egg hunt. Historically, we tend to do it out in Lynn Houston Park, although we've done it in a couple of other places as well. Last year we had 500 children, and this is children of faculty, staff, students, and from the wider UH community. We passed out 5,000 stuffed eggs and more than 800 prizes. And a great big thank you to everybody who's participated in the egg hunt. I'm going to throw out just one great big thank you. She made sure that we got wasn't it Jillian that got all the eggs stuffed? No. Lear Hickman. I'm sorry, Lear. Lear Hickman and the students involved in her area got. In 2015, we also had 3 new scholarship opportunities. The B. Renee Milton Students of Staff Scholarship, which goes to students of staff members. The Roger Peters Staff Scholarship, which is a larger scholarship award than the regular staff council scholarships, and also the Professional Development Award, which we're currently trying to raise funds for so that we can send staff members to conferences, to classes at other institutions, HCC, Sanjac, that kind of thing. We also created the administrative leave with pay form, which is now posted on the HR Forms website. For those of you who happen to be managers who don't know about this, You do have some non-monetary rewards that you can give to your employees who do exemplary jobs. You can give them a day off, or you can give them a half of a day off, just by filling out a form and getting it signed by your various higher ups. So if you want to give a little bonus that doesn't directly cost you anything, that can be a really nice gift. We also added documentation to MAP 2601, where with supervisory approval, employees are encouraged to participate in volunteer opportunities throughout the university. We added the group award to the President's Award ceremony that took place back in August. And this year, the inaugural group award went to, what was the actual name of the group? They're in student services, or Cougar Village. The Student Housing and Residential Life Opening Committee got that inaugural reward. The Communications Committee made improvements to our website to make things a little bit easier to find. One of the other big things that they did was they restarted the Cougar Kudos program. And for those of you who don't know about that, Cougar Kudos is a way that not just managers, but anybody can recognize any other UH employee. It's really as simple as filling out a little web form. It'll take you about 5 minutes. But I got to tell you, the smiles that I've seen on people's faces when I deliver a kudo are just wonderful. We also this year started giving out for the first kudo of the year that you receive. You get a little pin with a cougar paw and 2016 on it, although Matthew is redesigning the pin that we're going to give out for 2017. So we did restart the Cougar Kudos program, and you can submit a kudos for anybody that you believe deserves one. And we have also tried to improve our newsletter to be an ongoing communication source so that we can communicate the things that we're doing to you all. Our Staff Affairs Committee, probably the biggest thing that they did was that they created the initiative to get the staff tuition scholarship increased. For those of you all that do not avail yourselves of the staff tuition scholarship, it has gone up from $1,200 a semester to $2,000 a semester, which means that it can really pay for classes now. An entire class at least. Definitely take advantage of the opportunity that you have there with the staff tuition scholarship. We've also worked with HR to improve the onboarding checklist to make the onboarding process go a little bit more smoothly. We planned the communications with staff event that was held about a year ago, as well as the staff focus where Dr. Couture, Joe Nelson, and Courtney Stein came out and presented. We also produced the 2016 employee survey, and we have even started to work on a couple of initiatives that have come out of the feedback there. And of course, the Staff Affairs Committee, one of its biggest charges is to provide feedback for MAP and SAM policy, and I'd like to recognize the wonderful work done by Peggy Levy on that, our Policies and Procedures Coordinator. She does a great job with all that stuff, and man, that stuff is so detail-oriented. I appreciate that I have somebody's eyes like hers on it. Other pending and completed staff council initiatives, we assisted in establishing the HR supervisory training and enrichment program, the STEP program. All of that came directly out of events like this, where y'all commented that, hey, we don't really have any good training for managers, and that came directly out of these types of events. We also provided input on new sections to be added to our staff resources guide, which is going to be a website to replace the staff handbook. And we are currently planning a pilot Take Your Child to Work Day for 2017. We're going to have more details to share on that at a little bit later date. But we believe that Take Your Child to Work Day will be an awful lot of fun for both the kids and also for the parents. So now I think that second up on my agenda, are you ready? Are you ready, Bob? Are you really, really ready, Bob? All right, we've got Bob Brown. Everybody give a hand. Parking and Transportation Services. Take it away, Bob.
Well, thank you, Andy. Test? Okay. Thank you, Andy. Had I known you were such a dynamic public speaker, I would have never agreed to follow you. So please bear with me. Now, what I want to do today is just talk a little bit, give you a little overview of parking and transportation, who we are, what we do. Talk a little bit about our communications and outreach programs that we have ongoing. Talk a little bit about our alternative transportation program, and then give you a little insight on some future projects and initiatives that will be coming up in the next year. Okay, who we are. Parking transportation, what our primary duties are, we manage the permit sales on campus. Last year we issued a little over 41,000 parking permits to faculty, staff, and students. We're also in charge of parking enforcement. Lot maintenance and construction, we average about $500,000 a year in lot maintenance. Visitor parking, event parking, this is actually our biggest area in percentage over the last 4 years. Our visitor and event parking has grown 130%. Then we have our transportation services, our shuttle service, our zip car program, and alternative transportation program Coast, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. It's important to know that we are an auxiliary enterprise, which means that we do not receive any state funding, we do not receive any student fees. We have to operate on what we collect for our services from our users, which would be visitor parking, permit sales, and enforcement. We can enter into debt service, which we do when we build a parking garage. Currently, we have about $6.5 million worth of debt service that we're paying each year on the 4 parking structures that we have. Thank you. And on that, I'll conclude. Thank you very much.
All right, this did happen during wasn't it the staff focus event? And we do need to go ahead and convene outside. Sorry about that, y'all. Bob, would you like to carry on?
All right, well, I see my time's up, so. All right, reiterate, these are our services, auxiliary service, no funding. If you want any more information, you can go to our website, uh.uh.edu/parking. Moving right along, we do have a shared governance committee. Andy mentioned it earlier, the Transportation and Parking Advisory Committee, TPAC. It's a standing committee that reports to the Office of the Executive Vice President of Administration and Finance. It serves as a conduit for exchange of ideas and information between staff, students, faculty, parking, and administrators. It's made up of 12 members. You can see the staff members that are currently appointed to the committee is listed up there. I urge you to reach out to them if you have any parking concerns or issues that you want to be addressed at TPAC. We also hold an open forum before every meeting, so if there's something that you would like to come to TPAC and discuss, just let me know about a week in advance. I'll make sure you get on the agenda, and we'll be glad to have you come in and talk to us. Or if you just have nothing better to do on a Friday afternoon, you can come in and just listen to what we talk about. We do meet the third Friday of every month at 1:30, and that's at the parking office over at the stadium garage. Next thing I want to talk about is our communication and outreach. We've tried to really step up our communication and outreach to the campus community. One of the things that we started last year is our parking blog, Word on the Street. We felt that there was a need to improve our engagement with the campus community. and to develop some means to get our customers' concerns heard, and at the same time try to educate them on the workings of parking and transportation. And the answer he came out with that was word on the street. It was launched back in November of 2015. So far, we've had 36 postings. We try to put one out every week during the academic class schedule. It's summertime. We usually do every other week. But the postings range from anything from informational postings such as game day parking to a more in-depth view of the parking and transportation operations, what we do and why we do it. I urge you to go to, again, uh.edu, word on the street, and catch up on some of the past postings we've had. The ones you see listed up there are some of our most popular ones. Our permit changes, shuttle changes, oversell and how it affects you, and then where do your parking dollars go. Another outreach program that we have is let me back up. And first of all, I want to give recognition to our blog team. We have members of that team sitting here in the audience with us, Jessica Mays, Leanne Dean, and Eric Holloman. We've received 2 awards over the last year for the parking blog. The first one is from the UH Marketing. We won the UH Brand Champion for Best Internal Long Copy, and that was for the blog that we put out for the permit oversell and how it affects you. We also received an award from the International Association of Business Communicators, IABC, the Bronze Quill Award for Excellence, and that was in the category of digital communications. So, congratulations, team. Okay, another initiative that we have for outreach is what we call our street team. You'll recognize the street team when they're out there. They'll be dressed in yellow t-shirts with street team on it. They participate in events around campus to get the word out on parking initiatives or programs that we have going on. One such program that we have coming up is our partnership with Metro. They're going to have their Discovery Bus or Discover Bus on campus October 20th and November 17th. And we're also doing a information session with faculty, staff, and Metro on November 11th. I mentioned before, we'll talk a little bit more about our alternative transportation program, Coast. Last year, we developed what we call our 10-year parking program, and we concluded going through that exercise that we just cannot keep up with campus growth and construction on campus by only concentrating on parking supply. So we knew we had to do something to address parking demand, and we wanted to come up with a program that would help us reduce the demand for parking on campus, and thus Coast was born. What COAST stands for is Cougs on Alternative and Sustainable Transportation. COAST program is a program where Parking Transportation subsidizes a portion of the transportation costs for taking alternative transportation. The options that we have for students are the Metro Ride Sponsor program and carpooling. And for faculty staff, we have the Metro Ride Sponsor for faculty staff and carpooling. Students get a $27.50 subsidy paid by Parking and Transportation each month for taking Metro. That's on top of the 50% discount Metro gives them for being a student. For faculty staff, we give local riders through the sponsorship program a 50% discount on their Metro fares. Or subsidy, I should say. And for park and ride users, it's a 25% subsidy on their monthly Metro fares. Carpooling is open to both faculty, staff, and students. If you have a 2-person carpool, you would receive a 25% discount on your parking permit. A 3-person van pool receives a 50% discount, and a 4 or more carpool will receive a 75% discount on their parking permit. You must be a full-time student to participate in the program, and you must be a full-time UH employee. It's not open to our affiliates. It's only open to UH employees and a daytime worker in order to participate in the faculty staff coast program. Some of the numbers you see up there for our student ride sponsor, we currently have 998 members. Our goal was to have 600, so we well exceeded our goal for this year. Also, the ride sponsorship for faculty staff, we're 96 participants above in that category. And the real shocker to us is our carpooling. We really thought carpooling was going to be a hard sell, but we've got 452 members right now, and it's growing. What this all equates to is we got 1,686 members in the program right now. If you factor in our oversell ratio that we use, it's like gaining 1,056 spaces. So if we would have sold permits for those 1,600 people, we would have had to have another 1,000 spaces on campus in order to park them. What that equates to is, if you know the parking lots across the street here, 20A, 20C, next to the East Garage, it's equivalent to a parking lot that size. That's how much we've saved through the COAST program. Our goal is, for the 4-year goal, was to get 3,000 members, and in the first 5 months, we're over halfway there, so we're real excited. If you want more information on the COAST program, you can go to the website, or you can stop by and visit Ed Bell at the Welcome Center Garage Customer Service Office, which is next to Taco Cabana. We also have the Student Discounted Metro Q Card program. This is for students who may not qualify for the COAST program, or they decide they also want to have the option of bringing a car to campus. They can get the discounted Metro card from us, and they get the 50% discount for Metro, but they don't get our subsidy that we give the COAST members. Some upcoming projects and initiatives. If you've noticed over the summer, we went through and we paved 3 of the gravel lots that we have on campus. We've got 2 more that we're going to do over the winter break, and those are over in 8A and 9B. We've already got all the infrastructure in, the lights are up, the drainage is there, and all they need to do is come in during the winter break and lay down the asphalt. We also have a project that will be starting in December, and that's the indoor football practice facility. It is going to be next to the stadium garage in part of Lot 12B. We're anticipating losing 350 parking spaces to that project, and it should be starting shortly after graduation this December. We're also looking at conversion of the faculty staff gated lots. Right now, the way the gated lots work, they're on the BASIS system, which is the same access control system that we use for the doors at the dormitories and at the offices and buildings. This is different from what we do in the parking garages. Parking garages, we use our T2 parking management access control for that. So we're keeping 2 systems running at the same time, and it's a lot of work to do that. So this summer, we want to go through and convert all of the gated parking lots for faculty staff to the T2 system, so that all of our gated parking is unified under one system, which will help us better manage the parking. We'll be able to see occupancy rates real time instead of having to go out and do lot counts like we have to do now, because the BASIS has no way of counting the cars in the lot. So that's a big step for us. Also, economy parking, we're going to complete the transition of economy parking over to ERP next fall. It's been a 3-year process, and it will be concluded next fall with that transition. And then we're also looking at building garage number 5. We're supposed to be going to the Board of Regents in December, and garage 5 will be in lot 18A, which is across from the architecture building next to the Law Center. It's going to be a 2,400 space garage. We'll have faculty, staff, student, and visitor parking in it. It's also going to have about 60,000 square foot of office, retail, and studio space. And that concludes my presentation. I guess I have to say, are there any questions, right?
I was going to ask you if you're willing to take questions. Are you willing to take questions?
Only if I can move around because the moving target's harder to hit.
All right, moving target. Let me give you this mic, and I'll go get another one for the questions. Any questions for parking and transportation? Please.
Is there a park and ride option for the Metro Rail? Did I miss that part of the presentation?
The Coast program covers rail and bus service, so if you remember Coast, you would be able to use that subsidy that we give you.
Okay. So I'd be able to drive in from Cypress, park where the rail is, and then take that into town.
Yeah, you would take the park and ride downtown and then hop on the rail. You could do that, yeah. I believe transfers are free when you do that.
Hey, Bob, the red bicycle program has been granted money here, so probably within a year we'll have rental bikes on campus.
Okay, yeah, I know we've been talking with B-Cycles, yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. I have questions based on faculty and students who are ungated parking in the overage. How are you going to work with that when you are constantly taking away parking spaces, whereas we're competing in the morning? Like, for instance, I'm in lot 6 by the health center. It's constantly packed. If you are coming in late from a doctor's appointment, you're either parking by Scott, closer to the rail, which is not always effective or safe for a faculty member or a staff member who may stay late. How are you going to do that? I know you said a garage by architecture, but how does that help others on the other side of campus who are kind of in the middle?
Okay, yeah, one thing we did start this year that we were hoping would help alleviate some of that problem is we capped student parking permits this year. So we only sold up to a certain point as far as the commuter permits. And we will look at that program and see how that worked this year and see what changes we have to do for next year. As far as additional parking on the west side of campus, south side of campus, one project that we have been talking about, which hasn't gone too far at this point in time, is to put some parking possibly down in the McGregor track, which is across Wheeler down MLK. It's not close, but there's really no other place that we can build parking at that's within the core of campus. So everything that we put in is going to have to be on the periphery.
Are you still giving out parking coupons for those staff that are using the park and ride Metro bus? Because I haven't received mine, but last year I was given like 6 or 8 coupons.
Yeah, part of the Coast program is that we give 12 parking validation coupons per year for those days that you would have to drive in. Do they need to see Ed? Yeah, if you could contact Ed Bell, and he's heading up that program for us, he can get those to you.
Hi. When you decide on building parking structures, are you always thinking about going up instead of going down?
Yes, we are, and there's 2 reasons for that. Number one is the ground in Houston is not real good when you go down. It's a low water table, and it really adds cost to the project. We can build an elevated structure for about $13,000 a space. If you go below ground, it's going to get into the $25,000 to $30,000 a space. So it's just all economics while we go up.
My question is, I also park in parking lot 6A. So with the upcoming construction over with the quads, would that affect our parking spaces there?
That is to be determined. I've asked the same question. There's possibility that location could be used for laydown. I'm going to lobby heavily against that. But I think that decommissioning is supposed to start after next fall semester. So I'm sure we'll be having some discussions over the summer.
So my second part to that would be, The two lots, that's one on the corner of Wheeler and Cullen and the one at the corner of Wheeler and Calhoun. Could those go up instead of taking us out further?
Okay, 4A you're talking about? You mean
Yeah,
build a
4A
structure
is-
there? It's possible to do that, yeah. We haven't looked at that. At this point in time, right now, our plan calls for our next garage to be that 18A garage. But future garages, it's hasn't been determined yet, so yeah, that could be an option we could look at. It wouldn't happen, though, for a number of years.
I have a question. You may or may not know the answer, but you know how you put a cap on the number of student permits that were sold? Is there a cap on the number of students that are admitted to the university, or do they still have a goal to add more and more students in future years?
As far as I know, there's no cap. They're anticipating, from what I'm hearing, 5% growth per year for the unforeseeable future. I think our actual growth this year was about 3 to 3.5%.
I have a question about the shuttles, especially at ERP. Right now, I'm having to take 30 minutes, well, last semester, 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after in preparation to ride the shuttle. Now it's longer, and because there's like 4 PGH buses and to 1 student center bus. And so it's affecting my ability to get to meetings on time. What can be done to alleviate that?
Well, we actually have 4 buses on each one of those routes, 4 PGH ERP and 4 Student Center ERP. So I'll need to look into and seeing why the buses at the Student Center aren't getting there on time. We are, just a side note, we're right now just working on admin site only, but we are switching our provider for our real-time tracking of the buses and also our passenger counting. So right now it's in an admin only. We're monitoring it to make sure that everything's right. We're hoping that maybe around Thanksgiving we'll roll out the new site for tracking, and I think we'll see some improvement.
Regarding the parking out at ERP, there was mention of conversion to economy parking. Are there being spots taken away from faculty, staff, and are those becoming economy? Could you explain that a little more?
At ERP, no, there won't be any of the faculty, staff designated spots taken away. We're just moving all economy parking to ERP. You know, part of the 10-year plan that we went through was to take a look at the rate structure and the designation of our parking lots and try to have a program that the location and the price meets the privileges that you get. And we had some situations on campus over the years. The campus has grown, and you know, maybe 15, 20 years ago when I got here, the economy lots we had made sense, but now you've got buildings right next to it or buildings in it, and it's still an economy lot. So you're getting the perks of a more expensive permit for the economy rate. So we took a look at other universities, what they do. We saw what the differential was between their different parking rates, reserved to unreserved, garage to surface. And we came up with a formula for the parking rates, and then we also looked at where their parking is and what they consider to be a remote economy type parking and what they consider to be on-campus parking, and we're trying to, you know, mold ourselves to what our peers are doing.
I have to commend Bob because he did respond to me very quickly whenever I had questions, so thank you. The permits that you give us, the 12 a year, do those carry over from year to year?
For the COAST program?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those have I think it's like a 10-year expiration on them. So yeah, I mean, if you don't use them this year, they would carry over.
Okay, and second question, in regards to the roads, for us, do you ride the shuttle buses?
Occasionally.
No, the shuttle buses are very uncomfortable with the bumps in the roads. Who handles that, or how can that be addressed?
If it's a university street, that would be my department. If it's a city street, like Calhoun, Cullen, Elgin, that we work with the city of
Be
Houston
all
on.
3 of those.
So I do know facilities has been, they're in constant communication with them. And, we were able to get Cullen worked on a year or so ago. Elgin's going to need it. But frankly, I'm thinking with the possible light rail that might go through there, I don't think that's going to be high on their priority to do anything until that's settled. But we'll continue our discussions with them and try to get something done.
Yeah, and unlike the young lady over there, I like the new route. It actually cuts half an hour off of my time.
I have 2 questions. I want to know, have y'all done away with, like when you get a flat tire or your battery has died out, has that gone away?
It hasn't gone away, but it's been transitioned to the Department of Public Safety. The enforcement officers no longer do that. That's security officers that are supposed to respond to those.
Okay, so we can still get in touch with somebody
Yeah,
for a
you still
ERP?
call the same dispatcher with 35849, and then she would, instead of her giving that to us, she would give it to the security group.
And they'll still come to ERP as well?
They should. If they don't, let me know.
Okay, and also my other question is, I work at ERP, and I was wondering, is there going to be any type of parking department put over there at ERP for convenience for us over there?
Like a
instead of
customer
having-
service office?
Yeah.
That's a really good suggestion. To be honest with you, I've never thought about that. I don't see us having a full-time office over there, but we could maybe work out something that, one day a week for a few hours, we could have someone over there to help out. But I just don't know if it, dictates a full-time person over there.
Okay, and I thought I had, was 3, but I have one more. When we have to, where we park, and we have to go over the crosswalk, there's a lot of students, faculty that don't stop, and there's like a little bitty stop sign.
You park in the covered area in the back?
Yes, in the covered
Okay.
area, and people are not stopping, and half of my coworkers have almost gotten run over.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely get with management over there, Transwestern, and we can see what we can do about that. See if they're, be receptive to some kind of speed bumps or something. Okay. I had heard that there was a fee for unlocks because they were having their wrecker service do the unlock, and that there was a fee for that. But I didn't hear about a fee for anything else, but I'll check into it. For a, okay, yeah, lockouts they are charging because the wrecker service is doing that. It used to be free. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon. Just from future initiatives or whatever discussions you guys may have had, should we anticipate parking increasing on a yearly basis? Because I do understand that last year it didn't increase, but I know that there is a new garage that's coming up and that probably promoted the increased rate. Is that something that we should look forward in the next 3 to 5 and increase every year?
Answer to that would be yes. If you go out to our website, we should have a copy of the 10-year plan out there that kind of spells out what we plan on doing. But, one thing we're trying to do is the parking garages right now do not pay for themselves. The rest of the parking operation subsidizes part of that debt service I talked about. And when you look at us compared to some of our peer institutions, our surface lot rates are higher than average, and our garage rates are lower than average. That's because we're relying on that surface lot money to help pay for the garages. So one thing in our plan is to get the garage rates up to the point where they will support the service and operation of the garage, and then we won't have to see as much increase on the surface lot side because it's going to be no longer subsidizing that.
Hi, I have a question. Good afternoon. Just out of curiosity, because the university has about approximately 43,800 students, and that's not including faculties and staff. And exactly how many parking spaces do we really have at this university? Have we done that assessment? The reason I'm asking is sort of a follow-up question from this lady right here. Due to the fact that a lot of times we have a non-gated parking, even if you come early in the morning, we run out of space, and then we have a job to go to. But if you get here just even 7:50, like one of my colleagues, and she couldn't find a parking. So that's sort of kind of frustrated, every day you're coming into work and you can't find parking, but you pay a lot of money for it. So that was the reason why I was trying to find out, have you, has parking department been done an assessment for the whole entire parking spaces that's available at this university in comparison with the student plus faculty member and staff, because we need our parking space to park here in order to go to work. But if every morning this is what we're fighting for, because it took me nearly an hour to find a parking 2 or 3 times when I transfer over here from general service building. And so that's very frustrating because I paid just like everybody else. And I even see some students who will park at faculty and staff's parking space. But I didn't have time to even make the call to probably report that because I got to get to work. So can you elaborate that and, let us know how can we solve that problem on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, well, to answer the first question, we have a little bit over 20,000 parking spaces on campus. About 65% of those are dedicated to student parking. Another 20 to 25% is faculty staff, and then the rest would be your visitor parking, loading zones, those types of things. We did put an RFP out at the beginning of the fall semester, and we're under right now trying to get the contract signed for a consultant to come in and take a look at our operations. And one of the things that we did ask them to look at is our parking designations. Do we have enough parking designated for the right users? So that is something that we're going to be looking at.
All right. We're going to give one more question, and here you go.
I have a question about guest parking. So now we buy those tags and we have to punch them, and we have to go out there and hand it to them so they can park. Do you have any plans to automate that? Like we would buy it online, there's a barcode, your staff can scan the barcode and make sure that it's really, this is so antiquated, trying to punch these cards.
Yeah, we're actually trying to get away from those red temporary permits. I mentioned about how our visitor and event parking has been the biggest percent growing. That's because we've been putting in more visitor lots around campus. Before, we only had 1 or 2 places visitors could go to, so we had to rely on that hunting permit for them to park other places. But I think, especially after we get the next garage built, we're going to have adequate parking that we don't need to use those red permits anymore. We just direct visitors to the visitor parking area. The only exception would be maybe during the summer when we have summer camps and things like that. We might still use the red permit during those times. There are a number of universities that have online systems like that. One of the things that we're trying to stay away from that for is because our parking lots are so full, Once we open up something like that that allows people to print a permit and park anywhere on campus, we've lost control of oversell because we don't know how many people are going to be buying those permits and parking daily. That's why we want to try to get them in the visitor areas where we can monitor them and then save the other spaces for our contracts.
All right. Thank you so much, Bob. We really appreciate you being here and giving us a presentation.
Thank you all. Thank you.
And especially for sticking around to answer so many questions. We really appreciate that. Please keep in mind that Staff Council does have members on the Transportation and Parking Committee, so if you have concerns or questions, please make sure that you forward those to us. We will get them to the committee and make sure that your concerns are addressed there. Can I throw you under the bus? Matthew Castillo up here at the front is, he works for UIT. He is one of the people that's been on the Transportation and Parking Committee for the longest that I'm aware of, and he is a great contact. So if you have questions, please forward them to him, and of course, any questions that you have that you'd like Staff Council to address, you can always send an email to staffcouncil@uh.edu. And now, without further ado, for those of you who were not aware of this, we do have a technology training provider right here in the MD Anderson Library. Is your last name, do you pronounce it Holthe?
Correct. Yes.
Wow, I got it right.
Congratulations.
All right, Chris Holthe would like to talk about the library training.
Thank you very much, and I'll make this brief because I do have a class to teach at 2:30. I know we're a bit behind. My name is Chris Holthe. I'm the dedicated technology trainer here at the UH Libraries. Been invited to talk a little bit about our training program and how we can benefit you as staff members. So the training program was started in 2014, and we've had a mission to provide the UH community as a whole with technology training workshops. Designed to do a number of things like support academic scholarship. This means covering topics like presentation skills for faculty and students, document creation and citation management, just to help the research aspect of the university. For staff-oriented, we focus on skill building, specifically workplace skills. This is Excel skills with spreadsheets, again, PowerPoint presentations, using Acrobat to create PDFs and such, as well as focusing on some innovative classes, things like graphic design, website design, working with really unique technology tools. So a little bit about the program. Like I said, we are fairly small. It's just me and a few student trainers. But our classes are completely free to any UH member. You are welcome to sign up for as many as you like and attend as many as you like. Currently, we offer about 40 plus classes, and we are continuously adding more. I'll give you an example of a few of those in a moment. But cover skills like basic computer skills, business tools, data analysis, graphic design, all sorts of really unique topics. We hold these year-round, even during intersession, so if you have some free time during intersession, definitely check us out. Summer semester as well. We also offer them week-round, typically Monday through Friday. Occasionally we'll have a Saturday class here and there. Most classes last about 2 hours long, and we teach them throughout the day, starting at 9 o'clock, 11:30, and 2. We will occasionally have some afternoon classes, but those aren't a huge priority because I kind of want to go home at the end of the day. Like I said, they are 2 hours long, and we are focusing on not necessarily tutorials, but a really interactive training experience. So the point is to make these classes as hands-on as possible, following a model of you learn something and then you try it out. So if you're not really that good at picking things up from a web tutorial or a video, come to our classes. We try to focus them a little more clearly on teaching you something new, which some of you hopefully can attest to. I see a lot of faces I've seen. We do teach, like I said, 40 plus courses, basically in 3 major sections. All of the Office 2013 courses, eventually we'll be moving to Office 2016 once that's rolled out a little more fully. Adobe CS6, again, there's a new version of Adobe CS6 CC, eventually we'll be moving to that as well. And additional classes on a number of different topics. Just for some examples, Office, we definitely cover Word, Excel, PowerPoint Access, all the important staff-focused courses. If you're trying to learn something new with Adobe, something cool, we also teach Acrobat, Photoshop, Illustrator for nice drawings and illustrations to accompany maybe pamphlets or something, as well as Adobe InDesign for large graphics, booklets, all sorts of stuff. Recently, we've added a class on HTML5, so designing your own web page. I'm actually doing that this morning. I did that this morning. As well as classes like Prezi, Google Docs, and SPSS for statistical management. So all sorts of stuff. This is just a really quick outline. I see most of the staff members come to these classes, but we have others as well. Just to give you an example of how we organize our classes, Excel, for example, our #1 class with staff members. We typically break our larger topics into 4 parts, each 2 hours long, and they're usually spread out throughout the day, or sorry, throughout the week or throughout the month. With Excel, day 1 is the fundamentals, the stuff you need to know if you're new to the program, like the layout, how to work with a spreadsheet, how to design your spreadsheet effectively. Then we move forward. It always starts with something simple and gets more complex. Part 2, how to design really nice looking tables that allow you to organize your data, or how to build those charts you need for your office presentation. How to do some specific tasks that not everyone knows about, like conditional formatting. If you've never heard of it, check out the class. It can be very, very helpful. And pivot tables. Hopefully, if you are a staff member working with a lot of data, you know how to use a pivot table. If not, come to class. Now, even though most of our classes are in 4 different parts, you're welcome to sign up for the one you need. You don't have to come to all 4. They're designed to be independent of one another. You could stick around for all 4, and that's what I recommend. I think it just gives you a better overall view of the class, but whatever fits your schedule works for me. You're also free to come to the same class over and over again if you want a refresher. I never kick you out. If you get annoying, maybe I'll hint a little bit, but no one has gotten annoying yet. Another example would be PowerPoint. Again, 4 parts. First day, how to build a basic presentation in an effective manner. Like I'm doing, try to focus on pictures and pretty things. We teach you the skills to build a nice looking presentation. We'll then talk about inserting all sorts of stuff in your presentation if you need to add music, background music, animations, videos even. Day 3, we focus on animating your slides. And day 4, if you're working with a group in your office or department, how can you collaborate and build a really nice PowerPoint? So just 2 examples, but like I said, many more classes. Our current training lab is downstairs on the 1st floor of the MD Anderson Library in the Learning Commons. We are actually transitioning to a new space beginning the 1st of November. So these computers will no longer look like that. But it is a dedicated training lab specifically for our training program. It includes advanced software, touchscreen computers, audio and video capabilities, so we have a lot of freedom to do a lot of unique things. Typically, we'll limit it to 12 students per class, so we can give you in-person and hands-on assistance. Currently, it is me and 2 other student trainers, but we're hoping to expand the program within the next few years and maybe get some additional full-time staff. Our new location, also in the same building on the 1st floor of the library. This is in one of our previous conference rooms. It's 106P, and a little map here. I don't know if you can see that, but if you come in from the front doors and go through the little stairwell, we used to be off to the right-hand side in the yellow Learning Commons area. We're now a little bit down the hall towards the brown elevators. We have a room right off the side there, and like I said, this will be our dedicated space beginning the 1st of November. Our website, unfortunately not as simple as the parking website, kind of long. info.live.uh.edu, that's the tough part. /p/training. Oh, I wish it was shorter, but on that website you can view our full class calendar for this month and the upcoming month, as well as download a PDF calendar. I spent a lot of time designing those, so make use of that. You can also sign up for classes and register using your CougarNet account. You just need your CougarNet and your login. You can sign up for as many classes as you like. There's also a link on there to suggest a class. If you have an idea of a class that you'd like to see taught or something you're really interested in and we don't currently offer, definitely I'd recommend suggesting a course. So like I said, I ran through that really quick, but any questions for me? I think I have. Oh no, I broke it.
Any questions for Chris? All right, one of the things I was just notified of is that Chris is one of the people who has been submitted for a Cougar Kudos, so I'm going to go ahead and deliver that now.
Thank you.
Apparently, more than just me think that this is a great resource. Definitely, if you want to learn a little something about any of these technology tools, let Chris know. Get signed up. I haven't actually sat through one of your courses, but I taught one at the same time as he was, and this cat knows his stuff. Awesome. All right, thank you again, Chris. We really appreciate it. All right, next on the agenda is Courtney Stein. Let me get, what is your exact title? Wellness Manager for the University of Houston. Court, for what it's worth, was one of the people that was instrumental in getting the faculty staff tailgate put together and planned and implemented. I had a great time, and so did everybody else that I talked to about that. So you're the Be Healthy? Is that yours, or?
No.
Let's see.
That's me.
That's you. All right, so there we go. All right, there you go, Courtney Stein.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here and for inviting me to speak. So now I'm all self-conscious about my PowerPoint. What happened to it?
I'm not sure. All right, let's. Okay. What is that? There we go. All right, there you go.
Okay. So my goal this afternoon is really just to tell you more about the program. Power Up is our employee wellness program, and then to be sure to have time at the end so that you can ask me some questions. So what I plan to do is just go over the current initiatives that we have right now, and maybe share with you some that we're hoping to implement in the spring, and then we'll take some questions. So first I wanted to begin by telling you what our objectives are for this program. We have a mission statement, and these are some of our objectives. Of course, we want to increase health awareness, promote healthy behavior change, encourage a holistic approach to wellness, and support health literacy and engagement. And of course, that's going to lead to healthier people, improve your health, and help us maintain or manage your existing health and prevent disease. So as we started to plan our programming, I wanted to share this with you because I think it's important. We looked at lots and lots of data, and one of the things we looked at was our top 5 chronic conditions for the year 2015. And interestingly enough, it follows what you see throughout the nation. At the top of the list is high blood pressure, followed by back pain, joint pain, high cholesterol, diabetes, mental health, and substance use, stress. So that was real interesting and helpful for us. The next thing we looked at, and we looked at a lot of data, was the results of the wellness survey that was implemented in the fall last year. And what we found, it was rich with lots and lots of information, but what we found when we wanted to develop our focus areas are these things. People wanted more health assessments, they wanted more physical activity, they were interested in nutrition and diet, they were interested in weight loss and stress management. And we thought, wow, that's fantastic, because those are actually all the things recommended to combat the top 5 health conditions that we have on campus. So we began. I'm going to cover trying to focus on those different areas. For physical activity, we had been working on this for a while, and I know it's been presented in the past, but we were finally, and not approved, but we were finally able to get it approved, and that's the fitness release time and wellness leave policy. If you go to the health and wellness link on the HR webpage, you can find that policy and how to apply for it. Essentially, it gives you 30 minutes 3 times a week to engage in physical activity, and all the sort of rules and guidelines for that are on the website. And if you have specific questions about it, I'll take those at the end. We do have people, I get an application of 1 or 2 a week, and before we move on, I would encourage you to take advantage of this. It's a great opportunity, not just for your health, but a stress break, just to get away from your desk and do something different. And also, the more people that we enroll in this program, the better case I'll have to go back to administration and say, look, employees really value this, they're utilizing it, and we would like to make some alterations for the better to this program so that more people will use it. Another thing we implemented was wellness walks at Hall Fines Arena. And we do that 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, from 11:30 in the morning to 1:30. Faculty and staff are invited to come in and walk the arena around 5 laps equals 1 mile. We've had 141 unique visitors come and walk, and we have certainly a group that come every 3 times a week and come and walk for 30 minutes. Most people do at least 1 mile, but there are people who do several miles when they come. That's continuing through the fall until we're told otherwise and that we have to leave, but for now we're going to continue to walk. We also implemented yoga classes for faculty and staff specifically, and they're free, and my colleague Ruben is going to talk more about that when he presents. They actually host that in the Wellness Center on campus. In the works, we have Art for the Health of It, Stimulate Your Heart and Your Mind walks. We hope to start this in November, and this is going to be outdoor walking. It's going to be organized in 30-minute walks. Hopefully, we'll have 4 different paths that we'll take. There'll be a docent from the museum that will lead the walk, and so we'll walk briskly to a piece of art. We'll have 2 minutes to hear about it and have a little breather, and then we'll walk briskly to the next piece of art. And hopefully people will enjoy that. I mean, we have so many pieces of art on campus, and I doubt any of us have seen them all. So I'm kind of excited about this because I want to participate. And then we're also hoping to develop some Cougar walking paths. And one of them is going to be a 1-mile path that goes around the campus, and you can enter it at any point. And we'll publicize that, and hopefully there'll be markers along the way so that in the future there's a designated route that you can walk, and you can see it, you can see how far you go, you can access it from any point on campus. Nutrition and diet. So we are participating with the Partnership for a Healthier America, and that's a national initiative out of the White House, Michelle Obama's effort to combat obesity and create cultures of wellness. We're one of, I think, 45 colleges nationwide that are participating, and to do so, you have to agree to implement 23 different health and wellness guidelines on campus that serve everybody on campus, not just the students. So some of those have to do around nutrition and diet. And some of the things we've been looking at is providing healthier option vending machines. That's coming very soon, where we're going to have much more diverse offerings within the machines for our international students, and also healthier options. Another initiative is making sure there's accessible free drinking water everywhere on campus, in all the dining halls, but also in other buildings. Airmark Dining Services has a nutritionist on staff, and he will meet with faculty and staff and welcomes you to make appointments with him. He's a great resource, so I encourage you to utilize him. And then we're also working to make sure we have healthy options in the dining halls. And then at the bottom is Farm to Work, which we have been working on since, I think, March. And I was so excited about that program. That was going to be our signature program when we first rolled out our employee wellness program. However, we've hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And where we are now is we're still trying to make things work. It's really a matter of liability issues and working out details with the particular farm that we hope to work with. So I remain optimistic. I know people keep asking me, and I feel bad that we haven't been able to implement it yet, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to introduce it in the spring. So fingers crossed. Weight loss. As you all know, we got a weight loss at work program going right now. The last session, we had 3 groups meeting on campus, one at the Energy Research Park and 2 here on the main campus. In this new semester, we have just 1 that goes on. That takes place in the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center on Wednesdays from 12 to 1. And people are really losing weight and are enjoying the program. Of course, we also have resources through our insurance provider, United Healthcare. We have wellness coaching webinars, and we also have a Lunch and Learn program that I'll talk about in a few minutes, and we do sessions on nutrition there as well. Also, to combat weight loss, again, we have the nutrition counseling and physical activity opportunities, and we also have the program Real Appeal, which is totally free. It's an online weight loss program, and the people I've talked to are really enjoying that as well. So if you need the support of being in a group meeting, we have Weight Watchers. If it's something you can do on your own and you want to do it that way, we have Real Appeal. So I'm happy that we can provide both of those. For stress and mental health, substance use, if you read the newsletter that went out Friday, and I hope you did, I hope you all read that when it comes once a month, we introduced the new Employee Assistance Program, the EAP, and we're really excited about that. I encourage you to go online. You can go to the HR webpage, again, to Health and Wellness, and once you click there, you'll find the link. There's also frequently asked questions on that page about the program, but it'll take you right to the resource. You can explore it. Things that are covered are financial, legal, and a number of other work-life balance offerings and resources, emotional wellness resources, counseling services, and referrals. So really encourage you to take advantage of that and share that with colleagues. I think, in the past we had an EAP and then it was cut. And I think it partially was cut because it was underutilized. So now that we have it back again, my goal is to really promote it on campus and make sure people are using it. Again, that enables us to keep this resource. So please help me share this with your colleagues, your supervisors, and so forth. Physical fitness release time, the wellness walks, yoga. There's also mindfulness meditation that's open to faculty and staff. And again, my colleague Ruben is going to talk about that. And then we have the Lunch and Learn Wellbeing Series that takes place twice a month in this room, 12 to 1 o'clock. In fact, this Thursday there's one. It's called Developing Your Personal Brand. And Christine Donovan is presenting. You can go online and register for that and pass. But even if you don't register, I strongly encourage you to come. They're really worthwhile. Also, if you have ideas for the spring, I'm planning what our lunch and learns are going to be for the spring. So if you have ideas, please email us or email me. Screenings. So we just had the 3D mobile mammography on campus, and we had 56 that we conducted, 7 for the first time, and 7 bone density screenings. So we're really pleased with that, with the turnout. This is not a screening, but we are doing a flu shot promotion right now. Now's the time of year to get that. But some of the screenings we'd like to do are fitness screenings in the future and also biometric screenings, and have them done on campus where you can come and have the convenience of having it done here. But more about that to come, and hopefully we can make that happen in the spring. So future initiatives, I talked about these really just now, things that we hope to do in the spring, and of course we hope to do much more, but these are the things that I wanted to share with you today. So ways that you can get in touch with us are the following. You can email me, you can go online, look at the information there, come to Lunch and Learns, you can learn a lot more that way. And that's my presentation. Does anybody have questions for me about any of these programs or things that you would like to share or discuss?
Questions for Courtney? Please.
Concerning like the walking paths, would any of those or maybe an exercise class be offered to those employees over at ERP location?
At the where? I'm sorry.
ERP.
At the ERP? I've met with the folks at the ERP, and we had a Weight Watchers program there, and we're continuing to try and do things. The latest thing we're working on right now is trying to get a yoga class over there. But I think that's totally possible, and if we have a wellness champion over there, her name is Kendall Tooker. Yes, and so I'm constantly brainstorming with her, and if we have people communicating that that's what they'd like, I think we can work to make that happen. So, thank you.
Any other questions? Please.
Hello, hi. I'm over at ERP as well, but something that I had when I worked at UT was in the gym, we had a faculty and staff room that we could work out in. Is there something similar here or in the works possibly?
Here on campus, it's the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center, and Ruben, actually, who's up next, can talk more about that, but memberships are available to faculty and staff, and it's a wonderful facility, so I'll let him talk about that. Thank you.
Other questions? All right, help me thank Courtney Stein.
Thank you very much.
For talking to us today. All right, next up we have the President-elect of Staff Council, and also, what is your exact title?
Assistant Director of Wellness.
Assistant Director of Wellness, Ruben Parrish. Do you prefer this or that mic?
I go here.
All right, so let's get your presentation up. And you are, be healthy. There we go. There you go. Take it away.
All righty. Again, my name is Ruben Parrish. Thank you for having us today. I also have a colleague, Melanie Wood. She's going to be talking about more of the campus rec side. But we want to make it a little bit different because not only is Courtney Stein doing all the health and wellness for faculty and staff, we're paid by student fees, so we do a lot of stuff for the students. But we do have programs that are available for all faculty and staff on this campus. So we're going to talk a little bit about those and some of the departments that we work with to help you all out become healthy and well. There, is that better? Okay, so healthy and well. So first up we have Campus Rec.
All right, so like Ruben said, my name is Melanie. I'm the Assistant Director for Fitness over at Campus Recreation. While my position is primarily a student-focused position, we are constantly thinking about faculty and staff and the work that we do as well. I wanted to let you guys know that all faculty and staff at the university have a 2-week free trial membership. So if you have not activated that in your time here, you are welcome to come by, check us out for 2 weeks, see what we're all about. If you try us out, you think you'll like us, our faculty staff memberships are $29 a month, and that's automatic payroll deduct. So it is pretty cheap, especially when you consider the cost of sitting in traffic and wasting your time that way. We'd rather have you come in and get 30 minutes in with us. Our facility hours are very convenient for faculty and staff. So Monday through Thursday, we're open 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. We have reduced weekend hours as well, but we're always open 6 a.m. on the weekdays. Services that we have for faculty and staff, we have a locker service. So if you would like to come and store your bath supplies for after your workout, you can certainly do that with a locker rental. We also have bath towel service, so you don't have to consistently bring your own towels and take them home and wash them. It's just kind of a pain. So we take that out of the mix for you. Our programs, we have over 60 group fitness classes a week. I have some copies of what we call our rush hour and our power lunch schedule here. Those are classes that I intentionally put on the schedule for faculty and staff. So if you want to try to get out, workout in during your lunch break, we've got some 45-minute classes on during the lunch hour. We also have some classes before and after work that are specifically geared towards faculty and staff. Group fitness classes are absolutely free. So once you are a member, you can come and take any of our classes absolutely free. If sports are more your thing, our intramural sports program is also free. We have outdoor adventure trips and rentals, so if you want to take your family camping, you can get a weekend camp set for 4 people for I think it's like $20. It's really cheap. Personal training, again, lowest cost personal training you're going to find in the city. It starts at $25 an hour. Swim lessons for your kids, also summer camps for your kids. And before I pass the microphone over, I did want to address the question about a faculty staff wait area. No, we currently don't have that. I will say as we move into the next 5 years of our strategic plan, we're coming to the close of one strategic plan and about to go into a planning process over the next 6 months or so. It is something that's on our mind as a need on campus. However, we are primarily student fee funded, so we cannot take student fee dollars and provide services or facilities for faculty and staff. So that's always the thing that we're kind of juggling. That said, in the way that I have thought about this and some of the things that I'm hoping to do with our fitness program specifically, we are aware that there are many groups on campus who do not feel included in our Campus Rec and Wellness Center. So LGBT students, some women feel really uncomfortable in our weight room, international students who may not have had the same kind of physical activity background. So we do see the need for a fitness area that has the ability to be blocked off for certain groups of people at certain times. And if we do go forward with that model, faculty and staff would certainly be one of the groups that had a specific day and time of the week that they could come work out. So.
You left that. Okay, I just keep it. All right. This one on? All right. All right, so we're going to continue on for some of the other services for you. So I put CAPS up here, Counseling Psychological Services. Even though we have the EAP and we have counseling that you can get through there, CAPS is here for you as well. As you see there, individual counseling, couples counseling, group therapy, Let's Talk program. Let's Talk is for more of the, it's a program where the counselor is at different parts in the, on campus to where it's a little bit more informal. And so you could walk in there and be able to talk to that person because some students and faculty staff, whoever, may not feel comfortable going into the CAPS office. So the Let's Talk program is a place where they can be allowed to go to just different offices. So we have a person come in our office every Tuesday from 3 to 5. And so that person can come in and just be there for anybody that wants to talk or be able to discuss anything. But CAPS is another option for staff to be able to go to. Now, when we look at the health center, so some of you may be sick. Some of you get sick. Some of you just don't have time to go to the doctor. we have a full-fledged health center on this campus. So as you see there, integrated resource, board-certified physicians, men's clinic health, men's health, women's health, dental. We all need nice teethuses and stuff. So, you got to be looking good as we're working as staff. We're customer service related. We have that. You can get that. Pharmacy. If you have to get your medication, you're able to take your prescription there and get your medication as well to help yourself stay healthy and well. When we look at it, I know it's a lot because I didn't take that PowerPoint class, so you see there's a lot of words up here, which, I did that on purpose to make a point for you to go. We talked about that. So, but as you see there is cost of UH faculty and staff members, prescriptions, but these are, again, all the resources for you to be able to stay healthy and well, and dental services are available by appointment. So those are there for you. So, that's how you can make an appointment. You go to the Cougar portal, or you can walk in there. They take walk-ins. From wellness, we look at the 9 dimensions of wellness. You may have seen that on the Power Up website as well. So the 9 dimensions is helping everybody stay balanced in their life. Because if you're doing too much social or too much of this or too much of that, we want to work on a different dimension. So we look at all 9, and we added cultural because of where we're at. We're at a second most diverse university in the nation, so we want to look at cultural wellness. Our slogan, as you there, is choose well, do well, be well. We want to provide as much information, as much services to everyone so they can start choosing well in any type of area they need. Once they start doing well, eventually they will be well. So that's why we have choose well, do well, be well. And some of the services just for you, for the staff, we have the mindful meditation every Thursday at noon. They sit there, you can read it, but you don't have to read it, whatever you want to do. But it's a clear, open, and non-judgmental way of really looking at and paying attention to yourself, paying attention to what's going on, and really reflect on your days and your life and stuff like that. So there's a guy, Dave, I don't forget his last name, but he comes in there and he facilitates that session. So it's about 20 faculty and staff and students. So you have to mix with some students, and don't be scared. But it's good. They go in there for about an hour or so and be able to do this mindful meditation. And Court has brought up yoga. So every Friday at noon, staff only. Faculty and staff only, yoga. That's it. Just faculty and staff be able to go in there. We have about 12 to 15 participants. It's in the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center Wellness Office, room 1038. So as you walk into the rec, you turn to the right, it says Wellness. It's in there. So it's in our classroom, and yoga is a great way to really distress and really get flexible and everything else you need to do with yoga. So we have those 2 programs in our office. And now this is a brand new one. There's a lot of words there, but this is a course for mental health first aid. Just like who's taking first aid and CPR? Hardly anybody. That's okay. So if I pass out, we're done. Okay, so, but mental health first aid kind of goes along the same line as training individuals how to really look at the risk factors, warning signs of mental illnesses, because that's one of the big things that we're looking at amongst our students, but then we're looking at amongst faculty and staff and how they can, how we can help them. So this is a program or a training that we have through our office that you'll be able to sign up for, and it's really, we're going to start rolling this out to the entire university coming in the spring. Right now, we're working on Division of Student Affairs, but after that, like I said, in the spring, we'll do that. Another one is health and wellness coaching. Not only can you go to Real Appeal and do some health and wellness coaching at United Healthcare, our insurance, but you can come see me if you want to. It's really helping you think outside the box on any type of a goal that you may have. So you're setting a goal from fitness to nutrition to I'm so stressed out to working out. Whatever the case may be, I'm here to help you think outside the box on how to achieve and reach that goal. Because you may be doing the same thing over and over and over again. You just need somebody to talk to. Well, that's me, and that's what I do. So I help you get to the point so you can make that lasting lifestyle change and be able to reach your goal. There may be some on campus. We have a collegiate recovery program on this campus now for going on 3 years. It was started by a mother, a student Her student was here on campus, or is here on campus, but she started because there was no other place for students to go to. As we have two high schools, recovery high, or sober, wherever the high schools are in Houston, instead of them going to Texas Tech or somewhere else, we decided, you know, we need to have something for them to be here so they can have the resources and their support. But the reason I bring this up is there may be one of our colleagues, there may be us, or something about some addictive behavior, or somebody may be in recovery, and how do they get involved, or how do they be a mentor to those students who are in recovery? Well, Cougars in Recovery is a place. John Shiflett is the director. And just even having questions, maybe seeing a colleague, John Shiflett will be able to help out and say, okay, hey, John, da-da-da-da-da about my, it was like, well, have them come see me. So it's a great place to get some help. And they do have this 12-step addiction recovery program. They have the meetings, they have AA meetings, they have NA meetings. So they have a lot of stuff that they do on this campus. But especially if you just want a resource or some questions, that will be a great place to go. Another one is, and a lot of you may not already know or may not know, is the University Eye Institute. Great place to go. So if you wear glasses or contacts, it takes like 2 hours to get through there. But hey, it's a great thing to go to if you have to get your eyes checked out. So staying healthy and well doesn't mean just going, doing physical exercise. It doesn't mean just eating healthy, but it means going to the dentist, going to the eye doctor, doing all that is looking every which way. So the University Eye Institute is here for you. A lot of times if you get the email, it's going to say they're going to waive your fee. And so it's like a $40 fee or whatever. They waive that, and you'll be able to go get your eyes checked out and everything. And now they have Enjoy Vision is the brand new service that they're doing, so LASIK. So if you just have that little bitty, if you're not that blind, per se, or whatever, and you can correct your eyes by taking LASIK, they have that for you there. So a lot of good resources and a lot of good programs for you all on this campus. If you don't know where we're at, these are the places. Campus Recreation and Wellness Center. In the big rec center, you got Student Services 1 building that has CAPS. Right behind there's a health center. Quad is Cougar in Recovery. And yes, Center for Students with Disabilities is on there. I didn't really talk about that too much, but it's just another resource that we have for our students. But if you ever have questions because you maybe come up with a student who may have some type of disability, that is another great place for your students to go and for you just to get help in anything that you may need. These are some, and I always put this up there for you all to follow. I don't know how great staff are with social media, but hey, I just want to give you the benefit of doubt and say you are on Twitter, you are doing Snapchat, you are doing all this stuff. So I put this up here for you so you can follow us. Why follow us? Because we're promoting all these services every single week for you. So if you following us, you will see what's going on, and you may get free swag too. You never know. You never know. Staff, I tell you, anything that's free, we put free, staff comes out. So it's free. All these services are free for you, all right? You're not getting a shirt, but you're going to get healthy and well, all right? Shirts maybe, that's why I say if you follow us on social media, you may get a shirt one time, or a water bottle, or a koozie, or a towel, or free food. You never know. You never know. So, thank you. They asked me to come here just to talk a little bit about beyond what Court is doing, but what is here on this campus through some of the departments that you may not know of or may always think is just for students, but we're here to help you out as well. All right. Are there any questions for me?
Any questions about wellness for Ruben?
Or the rec center for Melody?
All right. Help me thank Ruben for his presentation. All right. And that is the extent of our prepared presentations. I'd like to ask you a couple of things. First of all, we do have a survey that we'd really appreciate it if you take. It's really mostly focused on this event and whether you like this event format better or worse than the way that we've done it in the past. We'd really like to deliver what you all want because really ultimately this is about y'all. So please fill out that survey. Let us know what you think. Do you have any questions for me? Anything that I can answer for you? All right. Yes, please. The question is, are we going to post any of the presentation information? Do any of the presenters have a problem with me posting these to the Staff Council website? I will get them posted to the Staff Council website. The only person I don't see here is Bob. I'll touch base with him before I do that, but I'll make sure that the other ones get up there. Yes, absolutely. Other questions? All right, thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it. If you do end up with any questions that Staff Council can ever help with, please, staffcouncil@uh.edu. Never hesitate to contact us. We're your advocates here on campus. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for coming.